Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and esteemed members of the committee. My name is Kurt Myers, and I'm here representing the Prison Scholar Fund and the many people whose voices can't be heard here today. For 15 years, 7 months, and 23 days, I was an inmate in Washington State Department of Corrections. And I'd like to share with you a bit of my journey, which is so similar to many others. In 2015, on my 7th year of imprisonment, Washington State began rolling out vocational programs. Because of this, I was given the opportunity to complete a heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration course, which not only bolstered my employability and my credibility and knowledge base, but gave me something immeasurably more valuable, a much needed sense of self-worth and self-efficacy. With this newly found skill and passion for education, I was ready to be released and help affect positive change in the community. And yet, I still had roughly 9 years left to serve on my sentence. Despite my incarceration, in 2013, I went on to earn an associate's in science major. And again, in 2015, I earned an additional associate degree in liberal arts. Yet again, despite my continuous display of rehabilitation, I remained in confinement. So, I've been a direct beneficiary of numerous public and private sector correctional education efforts, and I feel it incumbent upon me to help secure and expand these programs so that there exists some reliable means of rehabilitation inside our prisons and supports upon reentry. So since my release in 2015, I've graduated from University of Washington Tacoma's Milgard School of Business, and I've had the honor of working alongside some amazing formerly incarcerated leaders, such as Dr. Christopher Beasley, an associate professor at UW Tacoma. I operated as his project coordinator for the Post-Prison Education Research Lab, which is working to optimize prison to college / prison to employment transitions in Washington and across the country. Or Dirk Van Velzen, the founder and executive director of Prison Scholar Fund, an organization for which I've recently taken on the role of as investment and partnership officer, working to provide funding and support to assist incarcerated and formerly incarcerated people realize their dreams and change the world. But I say all that not to tout our accomplishments as formerly incarcerated citizens, but to underscore the fact that there are plenty more where we came from. Currently incarcerated people praying for the opportunity to take part in healing our communities and changing the way we as a society view criminal justice, corrections, and many, many public health issues that leak into the social strata of our society and contribute to our mass incarceration crisis. If you'd like to hear from those who are truly experts in reentry, I'd be happy to arrange a panel of previously incarcerated people who can provide guidance in aligning policy with best practices. And I urge the committee to please lend your support for Post-Conviction Review Board. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Question, Kurt?
Yeah, thank you. And I confess I haven't read the 101-page document either, but I've seen on the, I guess it's the Indeterminate Sentencing Review Board, when they televise that, is when they've got a inmate who appears before to see if they can get an early release.
No, not in all cases. The Indeterminate Sentencing Review Board reported to us that they have hearings in a lot of different facilities, not all of which have televising capability, but I believe the Clemency Board.
That's it, the Clemency Board, thank you.
TVW covers that.
And so the question being, I have seen when that happens, when folks appear before the Clemency Board, that a member of the victim's family often comes to testify. Is that a part of this bill, that would be a nexus, that we would have a member of the family be able to chime in about early release? Or?
Yeah, there is an opportunity, not when the petition is first filed, because that's when the review panel would be determining if they're going to have a hearing. But at that second step, if a hearing is held, the bill talks about the panel or the board needing to make rules around victim notification, and then there are some things in there where they'll work with Department of Corrections and the prosecutor to get that information, invite the victim to offer either testimony in writing or in some way, shape, or form, but yes, they are involved in that process.
Thanks. I think it's good we stress that. I mean, this sounds like a terrific bill, and I totally believe in second chances too, but I know that we'll hear an outcry from victims' families just about the concept, and I'm sure if they dig down in the details, they see it's a very thoughtful piece of legislation, but I always worry about the victims and their families and when we're doing things like this, so.
If I can offer one piece of information about that, victims are represented on the Sentencing Guidelines Commission. So when this piece of the bill is actually lifted from the SGC proposal, and it specifically does not inform victims at the first step, and this is at their request, because there will be a lot of people that will not meet the criteria of this board review. And so there is no reason to contact all the victims at that point, because it will reopen a traumatic experience unnecessarily. But if a person is found to be on the face of all their conditions eligible for a review, then it would be a notification process.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if I may, just to clarify one point, also there is an opportunity to invite the incarcerated individual and the victim to participate in a departmental sanctioned program where they can kind of talk about things as well. So there's something in that to the bill as well.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
The program I work with in Mission Creek is a restorative justice program, and the victims are working along with the inmates to heal. And there are a lot of victims that want to do that. They want to see, I mean, because statistics say that 95% of inmates will get released to society, so they want to see them change and transform. They don't want them just to do their time, straight time. They want them to educate and transform. So a lot of victims are working along with the inmates to transform that.
Where was your HVAC program? Was that at the pen?
At Walla Walla State Pension.
That's where I represent.
Thank you very much.
All right.